Okay. I just came back out today. Is this thing clear? Is it the reason I don't have my glasses on? Okay, it's probably the reason I don't have my glasses on. Hey, I just came back out today. This morning, I got on the road, packed up my stuff and everything. Y'all, it's back to business. It's back to the grind. It's back for going hard. Okay, so I was down and out for a minute, but now, I'm back. I'm back. I'm finna go and do what I gotta do. We ain't got but a couple of months. We don't have but a couple of months to knock this out. And then we gonna move on to bigger and better. A lot of people I want to talk to y'all tonight because people often ask me, what is the key to paying off your truck and things like that. And I just want to let you know, we don't do anything special out here for anybody, anything different that you can't do. Anything that I can do, you can do. The only thing is you got to do what fits you. You got to do whatever it is that you want to do. Don't follow no clique. Don't follow nobody else. Just follow your own path and your own journey, because what somebody else is doing may not work for you. So just be yourself and be an individual and stand on your own 2 feet. You don't need nobody to you don't have to be in this clique. You don't have to be in that clique. You don't have to be in this group. You don't have to be in that group. All you got to do is plan to have a path of direction of how you want to go. And the keys to paying off a lease is you have to have patience. You have to be dedicated to what it is that you're trying to do, and you have to sacrifice. You got to sometimes not be able to do what other people are doing because you have a goal ahead of you and wanting to pay your truck off. You can't go on what everybody else is doing, okay? Because if it was all that at one particular company, we would all be there. So that's why it's so many different companies that you can choose, so you can find your own niche out here as whatever it is that you want to do. And take your time. Don't rush the process. People who rush the process, people who just jump over steps, it's steps to this. Y'all heard of this? It's levels to this, right? So you got to take the small baby steps, and then you walk your way to the bigger steps into ownership and things like that, what you want to do. People ask me a lot of times, do you get paid more money leasing than do you get paid more money leasing a truck than being a company driver? Not necessarily. It depends on your mindset and what you want out the game. If you want to be an owner, then the payments and stuff for the truck may not be much more than a company driver. I would say I get paid average on what a 5-year experience, 6-year experience driver would get out here in the industry as a company driver. Okay, I take that home. The difference is I'm trying to, at the end of my 5 years, to have something to take home with me. Okay, so that's the only thing, and that's if you want to be able to do that. A lot of things you have to sacrifice when you're looking at ownership. Okay, when you're looking at ownership, you can't jump around from company to company to company to company. You can't do that. You got to, when you go into your first company, right? We always go to our first kickstart, start a company, whatever the case may be. It's where we get our feet wet, right? So we go in there, we say, hey, I've been doing this 6 months, I've been doing it for a year. There may be some better opportunities out here that I want to try. Be careful when you make that move, okay? That is the time that you really need to sit back and research, what are the benefits? What happens if I stay at home, if I get sick? What happens? Is this going to go on my credit report? What happens if something happens to me? Am I going to be covered? How long is it going to take you? The average time that it will take you to pay off your lease truck is going to be anywhere between 4 to 5 years. So knowing that when you come in, okay, it's going to take you to pay off a lease truck in about 4 to 5 years on average. You can pay that off early if you save your money and maybe make extra payments and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, you could do it in an early time, but I'm thinking average. Average, if you're going to come out here, you doing a lease, it's going to be at least 4 to 5 years. That means you have to be dedicated to the same place if you are leasing your truck with that same company. So no matter if, 1 week your check is not as high as you think it's supposed to be, there are a lot of lease operators that have, trucks that done went without checks before. I've went without a check before. I have not always made a positive check every week or anything like that, but you just prepare for that. When you know that you're going to take a week off, or that you're going to do, that you got to be gone for a certain amount of time, prepare for that. Say, look, I got to put this away, because when I come back, I know that I have these obligations that I have to meet, so it won't hit me so hard. Go ahead and prepare for that. Put an extra $100 a week, if you can, away, so that when you do take off, it doesn't hit you. And I always tell people to run your truck enough so you can take 4 days off. Okay, you can take 4 days off and still generate a check, at least have something to take home. You don't always have to be in a negative. If you plan that week out, I know that my time goes in on Friday. Okay, so if I take off, I may work Saturday and Sunday to cover my fixed costs, and then once I pay for my fixed costs, I can take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I know when I ready to come out on Friday, it's a new week, and get a jump start on that next week. Okay, so you're not really missing that much of money, but you can do it. Some of the things that I've sacrificed in trying to pay off a lease, you all, is I didn't have a home. I lived in my mom's home. I did not have a home. I had my stuff in storage. I still don't own a home. Okay, that's a sacrifice that I chose to make, because I know how I am and I know my spending, and I did not want to be maxed out and paying a mortgage, a light bill, a phone bill, and all this kind of stuff, and then not knowing I wouldn't have been able to do this if I had a home and all these responsibilities and things like that, plus take care of my mom, and now I'm going to have to help taking care of my son. I knew that one day I would get to a place where my mother was going to have to depend on me, and I wasn't going to have to depend on her. So with those things being said, I had to weigh my options. I had to think about what was more important to me. Was it important for me to get a house that depreciates? Well, not all the time, but to get a house, it was like I weighed out throwing money away. You see what I'm saying? Or something that I need. I did try it. Y'all remember I did try to get an apartment and all that kind of stuff. I did try to do that, but it's hot, y'all. It's like 73 degrees here in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm so happy to be in Jackson, Mississippi, y'all. I don't know what to do. Okay? I do know now, coming back home is like what I really want. I want this warm weather year round. I want this, traveling this South. I love the South. I dread, and I feel bad for the people that are up there in Wyoming and going through all that snow and blizzards and all that kind of stuff, and them pile-ups and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, when you don't have to put yourself through that, I'm not going to put myself through that. It's a choice. You could choose to do that 48 or whatever, but it's just, that's not my thing. I can't run like that no more. I just have to find my own path to make the same money, that I made. But some of the sacrifices that I made was, I bobtail. I don't know if y'all knew, I bobtail in my truck. When I was at KLLM, I bobtail in my truck for the whole first year of trucking. I did not have a car note. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have none of that. I went to the grocery store. When I came home on my own home time, people used to see me at Walmart in my bobtail truck. They used to see me at, any grocery store, any hotel, any place I went, I bobtail my truck. I didn't have a vehicle for the first year, okay? Because I knew that um, I was trying to have an end game. I was trying to have a goal, and you have to realize that. And you can't let nobody take you or distract you from your goal and what it is that you want to do. And you got to be able to direct your own path. When we get caught up in following other people and what they're doing, and it doesn't work out for us the same way that it works out for them, we find ourselves, we may get upset, or they said it was going to be this, or they said it was going to be that, and it's not that, and it's not them, it's you. And the reason why is because you didn't take the time to see if that will actually work for you. If did you have the same routes that they had? What are they doing extra? My check is never going to be the same as everybody else's check because there's extra things that I do. So you have to just find your own niche, and you find your own way of whatever it is that you want to do out here, and decide. And don't rush. Get out here. When you come in here, let me tell you something. It's going to be so overwhelming for you. And the reason why is because everything is new. Some of you all never been out your own state. Some of you all never been out your own region. So you're going to have to find your way around to all these shippers and receivers and all this kind of stuff. You're going to have to start managing your time because a lot of you never drove 11 hours a day. So that's something that it takes time to build up to. So when you come in and you a company driver and you grinding and you working really hard or whatever the case may be, once you get through with that, then you're like, okay, what is my path? Once you know how to run and what it is that you need to do, and you can back this truck up and all this kind of stuff, once you got that down pat, you need to sit down with yourself and write yourself down a goal, or say, okay, how do I want to direct myself in this industry to make sure that I get out of it what it is that I want to do, right? So you're going to either say, okay, I want to be a company driver. I'm fine with that. I need benefits. My kids need benefits. I want to be able to come home and not have to worry about a truck payment. I want to be able to enjoy my life and, have my days off and get my check and call it a day. I don't have to worry about no fuel, none of that. You see what I'm saying? I could probably ride in a brand new truck whenever I want to, or whatever the case may be. And then you can increase your money by your experience, because the more that, if you in this game for a year, there shouldn't be any reason why you should be working for 38 cents a mile or even less than that. Okay, you understand how to get your money. You can work at Walmart making 80-something thousand, $100,000 a year. Okay, you can also work at, and then the doors start opening for you for these companies that accept you at 1 and 2 years. And those are the companies that usually pay a little bit more. And a lot of times you don't have to work as hard as you did when you was a rookie. When you come in here, when I was a rookie driver and I got in the industry, it was 48 states, baby. I went Utah, Nebraska, Wyoming, New York, everywhere, California. It wasn't nowhere that I didn't go to. I was kind of scared at first because I never drove in the snow in Pennsylvania and these mountains in Oregon and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I was scared at first, but then I got the hang of it and got used to it, and it's like, it was exciting to me to go to all these places and be like, I drove there before. I was in Utah. I did something in Oregon. I was in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? And it become a less and less fear of what it is that you do out here. Then you can start when you start getting to know your job and what it is that you're doing out here. Then you decide what you want to do. And if ownership is something that you want to do, remember, if you're gonna go lease purchase. I don't talk a lot about company because I never been a company driver. I came out here from school, and they talk about how people coerce you for getting in a lease soon as you get out of school and all that kind of stuff. I already knew when I got out of school, this is the path. Okay, they said, okay, in 5 years, you'll own this truck. At KLLM, you got a brand new. I came in when they was kind of first coming out with the automatics and stuff. No money down. I never got in any type of vehicle where it was brand new, no money down, no miles on it, whatever the case, no credit check, none of that. And they said, look, Tamara, we're going to give you this $168,000 vehicle, brand new, no miles, warranty, everything. All you got to do is run. I knew if I ran 3,000 miles, I could make $1,500. I proved that every time. And that was where the paycheck videos came in, because I'm like, if you run like this, you get your notes like this is what your check is going to be, okay? And that was my max. 3,000 miles was usually my max, where I was comfortable with. And I came up with a pattern. It was like 500 miles a day. That's like 8 hours, because KLM trucks, they ran 71 miles or 70 miles an hour, okay? So it was like 8 hours, 6 days a week. That's 3,000 miles. And since they was a company that did 48 states, all I had to do was run from Jackson, Mississippi, where the terminal is, go to Dallas, Texas, or go out there to Fontana, California, pick up a load in Fontana, California, bring my butt back, and it was a wrap. You see what I'm saying? So you really didn't have to. But if you got to go out there and get it, if you got to go to Pennsylvania, if that's what's paying you, you got to be willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to put in that hard work, because nothing out here comes easy. Nothing at all out here comes easy, but it can be done. It can be done. Another thing is, what else I didn't do? I did get the apartment. I had an apartment, y'all. I had an apartment, and I stayed in that apartment, what, 2-3 months? I was in the apartment. I was there like 4 times. Okay, after 2-3 months. So then I decided, okay, I got comfortable with the $1,500 a week, right? I'm good. $1,500 ain't nothing. I was running KLLM. I was happy and everything. And then they said, after a year and you don't have any incidents or tickets or anything else, you can train. And I was like, well, how much do trainers make? You know what I'm saying? Because there was no way lease operators didn't get like raises like company drivers did. So my payment, my cost or my check was going to be averaged about the same throughout the time that I was going to be there. And I was okay with that, you know. What I fell into people's criticism of what I was doing, okay? I fell into people talking about how I was making 90 cents a mile. I think when I was at KLLM, I think it was only 88 cents or something like that. And people was talking about how I was making 88 cents a mile, and oh, my light green, y'all, I'm gonna have to cut it short. They finna come get me. But I was making 88 cents a mile. Hello, I'm finished. Okay, thank you. These folks here in Mississippi, honey. Hey, bad. I gotta go, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.